I'm Dr. Johan Martin. I'm a clinical counselor and I specialize in chronic stress-related conditions and disorders. I'm author of the book Moving On from Chronic Stress to Sustainable Resilience. Narrative care notions. In order to help our clients understand the logical reasoning behind narrative care, it may be helpful to explain the following basic narrative care terminology you may use during counseling sessions. Extended me, wholeness, mother environment scenarios, neural networks, umbrella emotions, emotional states, storied narratives, cybernetic principle, congruence principle, reaction, response, chronic stress, and time-space. Extended me. My extended me refers to those people and concrete or abstract things we call mine. For instance, my home or me home. Wholeness. Though our wholeness includes our extended me, it is more than the sum total of these parts. It refers to my essential self. It comprises my time-bound body and soul, as well as my eternal spirit. Mother environment. Our mother environment is our life-supporting habitat or ecosystem, where we are supposed to find whatever we need to be safe and to thrive. Think of an umbilical cord securely connecting a fetus to the life-supporting environment within the mother's womb. This metaphor may help us understand the interconnection we have with our mother environment since conception. While interacting with our mother environment out there, most of us may discern some typical mother environment scenarios presenting themselves during personal, real-life interaction. Scenarios like wholeness, safety, comfort, consistency, option, opportunity, finance, control, demand, rule, standard, regard, loyalty, relationship, health, or spirituality. Neural networks. Mother environment scenarios demand reactions or responses from us since birth. Therefore, our brain starts forming and reforming dedicated, proliferated neural arrangements of interacting and interconnecting neural networks and subnetworks to host and remember sensory information in a meaningful way. I call these neural arrangements neural networks. There are dedicated neural networks associated with every mother environment scenario. Umbrella emotions. I identified 16 primary umbrella emotions, each with a positive and negative sliding scale side, with its own unique emotional shades. Like alternatives suggested by a thesaurus and simulated by the sectors of a multicolored umbrella, and elicited by external mother environment scenarios. For instance, wholeness, content sad, safety, safe unsafe, comfort, comfortable irritated, consistency, certain uncertain, option, encouraged frustrated, opportunity, included deprived, finance, secure insecure, control, confident disempowered, demand, competent overwhelmed, rule, justified guilty, standard, worthy ashamed, regard, regarded disregarded, loyalty, supported betrayed, relationship, loved lonely, health, well, unwell, spirituality, hopeful, hopeless. Emotional states. Emotional states are dedicated neural networks hosting storied narratives. They are mainly identified by the typical or unique umbrella emotions they accommodate. We know that we are dealing with specific emotional states when we use phrases like I am or I feel. For instance, I am or I feel content or sad, safe or unsafe, comfortable or irritated, certain or uncertain, encouraged or frustrated, included or deprived, secure or insecure, confident or disempowered, competent or overwhelmed, justified or guilty, worthy or ashamed, regarded or disregarded, supported or betrayed, loved or lonely, well or unwell, hopeful or hopeless. A typical emotional state, as represented by the storied narrative it accommodates, tends to accommodate a unique umbrella emotion, specific extended me components, age-related memories, present sensory experience, unique visions of the future, unique physical posture, emotion-driven coping, speech, etc. behavior, and spiritual beliefs. Every emotional state makes a unique contribution in service of our wholeness. Emotional states tend to form emotional state alliances with other emotional states. For instance, guilt-shame alliance. I will avoid being shamed by those people whom I hold in high regard by upholding my own rule, namely to always live up to their standards. Another example, shame-regard option alliance. I will avoid being shamed, so I may be regarded as worthy to be included in available options. Remember, people we interact with have also developed similar emotional states. Storied narratives. Narrative. An eyewitness account of connected events hosted by a dedicated neural network. For instance, eyewitness testimony in a court of law. Story. A fictitious or imaginary description hosted by a dedicated neural network. Storied narrative. A meaning-forming description based on a narrative hosted by a dedicated neural network. The cybernetic principle. The way we continuously process sensory information is guided by the cybernetic or self-correction principle. It functions like a series of yes or no sensors, like the green and red traffic lights. First, it gets processed by our reactive brain, where the amygdala acts as yes or no sensor. Secondly, it gets processed by our responsive brain, where the left prefrontal cortex acts as yes or no sensor. Then, our emotion-driven output behavior gets processed by our mother environment, where the law acts as yes or no sensor. Ultimately, it gets processed by our Christian or spiritual values, which then act as yes or no sensor. At any stage of information processing, there is an uncertain sensor, for instance the amber traffic light, which complicates the cybernetic or self-correcting process. The congruence principle. Congruence is basically a state of agreeing. Think of a document, edited or unedited. Uncontrollable incongruence occurs when sensory information or a narrative disagrees with our opinion or story, and while we do not feel empowered to make a difference. Controllable incongruence occurs when sensory information or a narrative disagrees with our opinion or story, and while we feel empowered to make a difference. Reaction and response. Reaction. The neurobiological outcome of the autonomic stage of a person's information processing can be referred to as our reaction. There is no thinking involved. Our reactive brain or limbic system or autonomic system is at work. Response. The behavior outcome, including speech behavior, of the cognitive stage of information processing of an individual can be referred to as our response. Thinking is involved. The responsive brain or cerebrum is at work. Chronic stress. Stress is the way a system changes in order to maintain its wholeness in a spiraling way. The way our neurobiological systems change, are upregulated or downregulated to defend our wholeness or our neurobiological stress reaction. Our reactive brain gets upregulated, our responsive brain gets downregulated. Our vital organs gets upregulated, our non-vital organs get downregulated. Stressor is a stimulus, internal or external, that sets a neurobiological stress reaction in motion. Our umbrella emotions reveal our stressors. Chronic stress. When these neurobiological system changes are prolonged in a circular way to a point of compromising our wellness. Time-space. Time always goes along with space. It does not exist where there is no space, like in area or field or location or spot or territory or turf or zone or place. Time-space, therefore, happens when and where time and space overlap. When we allocate a specific time for a specific activity, we also have to allocate a specific space where this activity should take place. When we allocate time-space for an activity on our diary, we should also ensure that we turn up with enough energy to perform the activity. In summary, specific dedicated neural networks accommodate or host specific storied narratives. Similar to the way our fingers develop, most of these neural networks may start developing at early childhood and continue into adulthood. We can use the palm and fingers of our hand to simulate specific proliferated neural networks, accommodating specific storied narratives. The purple square refers to our hand palm, which simulates our wholeness. The colored fingers simulate different neural networks proliferated from the palm or the core narrative, accommodating different integrated storied narratives. A dedicated neural network hosting a storied narrative can also be called an emotional state. Typical characteristics of an emotional state are a unique umbrella emotion, specific extended me components, age-related memory, present sensory experience, unique visions on the future, posture, emotion-driven coping behavior, and spiritual beliefs. Do not forget to use your narrative care agenda and tools. Thank you for watching our narrative care videos. You are so welcome to read the book as well. Take care and may God bless you.